Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today our video takes us to Alton Towers and we will be talking about the history of the corkscrew roller coaster. In 1979, John Broome, one of the original directors at Alton Towers, wanted to install a flagship attraction that would be completely unique to the UK. He wanted to set the benchmark for thrills in the theme park industry. John heard about two similar rides which were opening in Europe by the Dutch manufacturer Vekoma. This type of roller coaster would pride itself with providing a huge thrill in a compact space, and the roller coaster model would be a UK first, with a high capacity to ensure that queues were never too long. The corkscrew stood at 23 metres tall and had a track length of 750 metres, reaching speeds up to 40 miles per hour. On the corkscrew there were two trains. Each train would sit 24 people, which meant that 1,400 people would be able to ride per hour, and ride time was around 1 minute 30 seconds. The corkscrew ride by Vekoma was an insanely popular attraction, and it really put Alton Towers on the map and boosted their popularity massively. I should mention that the corkscrew hasn't had any fatalities or any serious accidents that I could find. However, that's not to say that it didn't have its problems. Even though it was a much loved roller coaster, there are a lot of reports and reviews about the ride causing minor injuries to most people that went on it. Now, it's perfectly natural to feel a little bit sick or maybe even a little bit shaky after a roller coaster. That's what adrenaline can do to you, so that's perfectly normal. However, the corkscrew's effects were a little more serious. Numerous people came forward with complaints of sore ears, headaches, joint pain, arm pain, leg pain, ankle pain, any pain that is physical, you name it, and it is on some kind of review to do with the corkscrew. However, it didn't really matter how rough the ride was. It was a much-loved favourite between communities and visitors and just about everyone who visited the park. So naturally, no one rode the coaster and said, okay, that was rough, let's not go on that again. No, there would be people who went on again and again and again and again, but then would complain that their pain is getting greater. Of course, I do think that is their fault for going on the corkscrew multiple times when they know about the roughness of the coaster. I did, however, find online that a lot of people sent complaint emails about the coaster to Alton Towers, but I couldn't find any responses, which is a little bit odd. But either way, the coaster remained open for quite a few years after its initial opening. The corkscrew closed on the 9th of November 2008. And one of the cars for the corkscrew was sold on December 15th, 2008 for £7,200, and these funds all went to good causes. Alton Towers retained the famous corkscrew inversion, which were refurbished and placed as an artwork feature in the main plaza. The corkscrew inversion has been seen by millions of people, and it is pretty hard to miss. It's painted bright blue and right at the entrance of the park. So let's talk a little bit more about the ride experience on the corkscrew. When the passenger had boarded the coaster's car, the ride started by slowly ascending 22 metres, which is 72 feet. The lift hill was powered by a 75 kilowatt or 101 horsepower lift motor. Once the car had reached the top, the car went round a turn and down 20.7 metres, which is 68 feet. When going down that drop, the car would reach a maximum of 44 miles per hour, which is 71 kilometres an hour. The train then pulled through a camel hump and a 180-degree turn before entering the two corkscrew inversions, a double helix type manoeuvre. Once the train exited the two inversions, it then went round a 180-degree turn. It then went around a 180-degree turn and into some trim brakes. After that, the train went across another camel hump and into the Bayern, I think I'm saying that right, if not I'll put it on the screen, curve, and around the perimeter of the coaster again, before going into the brakes and the station. The corkscrew became very rough towards the end of its life and contributed to the decision to dismantle it in 2008. In 2008, rumours surfaced about the corkscrew's removal as a ride In 2008, rumours surfaced about corkscrews removal as the ride hardware was coming to the end of its serviceable life. Sure enough, in October of that year, Alton Towers Resort announced that the iconic attraction would be permanently closed at the end of that season. It was evident that the 28-year-old ride still had a loyal group of fans, and a final farewell event was held in the celebration of the corkscrew's life at Alton Towers Resort. The corkscrew was dismantled and replaced by 13 in 2010. There are many people that think 13 did not deserve the space that the corkscrew once occupied. Did you ever ride the corkscrew? If so, what was your thought on it? And if you didn't ride it, would you? The corkscrew will always have a special place in a lot of people's hearts. And for a lot of people, the corkscrew was the first inversion roller coaster that they'd ever ridden, or it was the first roller coaster that they'd ever been on in general. The ride is responsible for setting the benchmark for thrills at Alton Towers. Alton Towers launched a series of secret weapon roller coasters, which were highly successful, and a lot of people think that that has something to do with the corkscrew. What's your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Okay, that wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. What roller coaster should I cover next?